guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews. I've got a review today of an upcoming film from director Terry Ross, who I personally am not familiar with. However, this is her second feature film and her first feature-length foray into the horror genre, which is something that I can always get behind. We do not have enough interesting, not even necessarily interesting, we just don't have enough female voices in the horror genre, so it's always great to see. For those immediately interested by the title of this movie, I should say that the film hits streaming on November 1st. Just get that out of the way immediately. So, the film tonight is The Sweet Taste of Souls, which is a movie that as soon as I heard the title to, well, there's no "the" in the title, but Sweet Taste of Souls. It's a film that as soon as I heard the title to, I knew I had to see it, because that title is something very special. It's a supernatural fantasy kind of horror film about an indie band who find themselves in a Twilight Zonian nightmare as they are trapped in a deranged cafe owner's art collection. And they must escape her and an evil force which has a taste for souls. So, this film is very obviously done on a budget. The budget is definitely better than a lot of the other films I tend to cover. And that's kind of the biggest thing, is the fact that it was done on a budget. Because other than that, this film is actually pretty quality. There's definitely weak aspects. The acting isn't great, although I thought that the main characters, I found them to be very entertaining. They have a lot of chemistry. Their banter is really funny, and they kind of genuinely feel like they've been friends for a while. And when they do get trapped, it kind of becomes almost like a physical comedy, in a way. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. The film also surprisingly has a lot of comedic moments in it, which I was not expecting, because I saw the trailer and I was like, oh yeah, this looks like it might be a bit funny, but like, it was a lot funnier than I was expecting. The film isn't labeled as a horror comedy, but I would definitely say that it borders being a horror comedy. The comedic elements and the horror elements are definitely separate from one another, but I still think that there's enough comedy there, it's in contrast with the horror, to really make it, maybe part of the genre. I don't know exactly. Like I said, everybody's trying. However, like, one of the big gems of this film is the villain Eleanor, played by Honey Lauren, who I am not too familiar with her work as an actress. However, she was in the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula film. Not that she was like a main character or anything, but she was in that film, which is a pretty iconic and well-known film. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But she's really great here, genuinely creepy, and is just a highlight, super charming performance, a joy to watch, and I think she makes a really good villain. I would definitely like to see her do more in the horror genre, personally. The atmosphere of the film, I think, is pretty damn good. It's got this nice, kind of small, abandoned town in purgatory type atmosphere, like that episode of The Twilight Zone, where that kid uses his imagination to isolate the entire town, and then he, like, systematically tortures them. But yeah, like, this has that kind of small town, creepy feeling to it, that to the point that even when people who live in the town show up, their presence is minimal, and it still feels like these are like the only people that live in this town. As somebody who really loves small town and or suburban gothic type horror films, This and another film released this year called Vivarium are two really big hits, in my opinion, from of the kind of suburban gothic small town horror genre. Um, some of the big ones, definitely two of the big ones of that subgenre for this year, and definitely two of the big ones from recent memory. There aren't a ton of these movies that get made all the time. I would have to say, from a technical standpoint, the film isn't anything special. The cinematography is kind of a mix of handheld and Steadicam, and I don't think that the average viewer will have issue with it. The sets and interiors and locations are very, very nice. The film was probably actually shot in some small town, and it probably maybe caused, a bit of a fluster to have something going on in a small town. I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the behind the scenes documentary. I didn't know there was a behind the scenes documentary. I don't even think there is a behind the scenes documentary. Either way, Sweet Taste of Souls is a pretty solid little flick. I don't know really what I expected entirely going in, especially after seeing the trailer. The trailer kind of made me a bit apprehensive to talk about this one, made me a bit apprehensive to watch it. But genuinely, this is a fun little flick, and I would definitely recommend that you guys check it out. It's not gonna be in my top 10 favorite of the year, but honestly, this is definitely a nice, pleasant little surprise. So with that, I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 5, and just say again that this film does hit streaming on November 1st for anybody who is interested. It hits. I know it goes on to Amazon, as well as a bunch of other streaming services I cannot remember off the top of my head. But it hits streaming on the 1st of November. Would definitely recommend this one. Check it out, guys. But that's it for now. This is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews signing off. Peace.